What's up, you guys? It's Mary,
And Alma.
and today we are doing something different. We are
Yeah.
talking about local news in
Yeah.
America, even though we are in Africa.
And it kind
So,
of hits it hits
It's-
a little close to home, and you don't know why, but I'll tell you why later. I mean, later on in this segment.
yes, and I also feel like it hits close to home for me just because as a woman, it's so important who you mix your soul with, who you have kids for, and just the mistakes we make,
Yeah.
just dating. Like,
Yeah.
sex is not just sex.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Just who you decide to tie your soul with.
Yeah.
So we are going to actually talk about Ashley Lockhart,
Yeah.
the woman, the mother of 6 kids, who
Yeah.
was stabbed by her boyfriend
Yeah.
brutally and had the
And
knife jammed in her head.
The father of all her babies.
Yes.
Yeah.
Is he the one who went on TikTok, or is that someone
No,
else?
that's another
Okay.
one. Yeah.
Yes, but he did that to the
Yeah.
mother of his kids.
And it was so sad because this woman, when you see some of her, I don't know if it's an Instagram, when you see some of her social media, she's talking to her daughters and they're saying things like, "I am peace, I am beautiful." Like, she has them say these positive affirmations, and she was just like, her daughters were gonna rule the world, like she really inspired her daughters, right? But sometimes it's like, you can inspire your children so much and you can give them all the affirmation, but if you're with the wrong person, their lives are still going to be messed up.
Yeah.
Because they're in that environment and they're in that space with that partner. And my thing was, even when she was pregnant with this last child, there was one clip where her daughters were rubbing, and she was rubbing her belly and stuff like that, and she seemed so happy and so proud, that she was having this 6th child. And I don't know why neither of them got married. I don't know if both of them didn't want to get married, but it just felt like, this guy is still your boyfriend. You guys are not married. You're raising this family, but what was very telling to me, she had a protective order in place against him, yet she was still living with him. And that's a mistake, because it renders your protective order null and void. When you have a protective order and then the person comes to live with you, obviously you're not at risk from this person. You're not afraid of this person. You're not afraid of the harm that it can do to you. But my thing was, you didn't listen. I just feel like she didn't listen to those instincts, and a lot of times as women, we just miss those instincts. Like, that first instinct is usually the correct instinct, And I don't want this to be like a shula kula wula, because someone has died. 6 daughters have lost their mom. Actually, both their parents now. I don't know. To me, he's not much of a parent if you kill the mother of your children.
Did he say he killed her because she went in a house, or was that somebody
Well,
else?
that's what people are saying. That's what I saw somewhere, that he killed her because she wanted to purchase a home. I don't know how true that is. There is no excuse. There is no excuse. The thing is, she obviously knew that he had a tendency to be violent. That's why she got a protective order against him.
And not to mention, protective orders are already flimsy. Like, if you watch murder documentaries, the protective order is really just a piece of paper. But most of the time, the police don't even do anything until some harm gets in the way. Like, you can call them, say he was here, but if he's not there anymore, they don't, So the fact that you're there living with him, protective orders, they only do so much.
Yeah, if you're living with a person after your protective order, that protective order is null and void. Because, you're showing now that he's no longer a danger in your life. But that was her first instinct. When she went to go that protective order, she should have just picked up herself with her daughters and go and stay gone. But I understand, because I have been there where I got a protective order and allow the person to come back into my life. And so, but I waited until the protective order. I think there's a like you can go back and renew it, but I let this person come back in my life. So I know how that can happen. You know, in that moment of weakness, this person is telling you he's going to take all the hurt away. He's going to make things better.
Even though he's going to
heal. He's going to heal the family because he's the one who caused the turmoil. And you're like, yes, this is what I've been praying for this man to change, man. And oh my God, God now is, then you bring God into your foolishness. God is now rewarding my patience. I have been patient like Job, and God is now rewarding my patience. Look at this man. He has changed. He's going to now be the healer, even though before he was the tyrant, and he going to heal the whole family. How the person's able to do that in a few months, why I did not catch a clue, I don't know. But it happened to me. So I know, so that's why I'm not like, I can see it. I know a lot of people are like, why did she have him back in the house? But until you have walked in those shoes, man, you know, and a lot of women, we do that. But what I am learning now is that my first instinct, and I teach my daughter and any other woman who I see who's talking about stuff to me about their relationship, and they're saying, you know, I got a protective order, I let them know that's your instinct. Don't go back on that, and don't give a man a second chance. Don't give a man a second chance. If I can leave this with women with one thing, when they mess up the first time, pack your stuff and go. Don't give a man a second chance. I know there are some women who will say, oh, I gave my man a second chance and he became a very good person.
Let me know how you do it 10 years from now.
You know something? It is far and few between. It is far and few between. So don't even, it is certainly not the majority.
No.
So, but it was so sad. I mean, I'm heartbroken for the daughters.
And my thing is, I feel like the whole thing with the protective order, obviously, because if you're in an abused relationship, like, your first instinct is not to get a protective order. Like, unless you grew up in a situation like that where you know, if somebody does something like this, I need to go and report it. But it doesn't seem like she grew up like that, because I'm pretty sure he had done this several times before, and he pushed her to the point where she had to get protective order, and she was still living with him. The fact that she was even still living with him says a lot.
Well, after the protective order, she allowed him back in.
Yeah.
Right.
But that says a lot. So obviously she is used to him doing this, talking sweetly to her, coming back in, and then this time, I guess, he just had it and decided to take it out, you know, on her. And my thing is, I feel horrible about it, because I just feel, you know, as women, it's just so important. Like, it's the most important thing you may ever do in life, and that is choosing the right partner. Even if it's just a fling, that fling can end up into you having a baby for 18 plus years, and now they're not allowing abortions and all that stuff in the US. Like, it's just so important who you decide that you want to be with, whether that's a boyfriend, whether that's whatever. Like, you really have to sit down and take your time and think about, is this somebody that I can see long term? It's not easy, you know. Even I sometimes I feel like I want to get married, you know, this, that, and the third, but then I look at all the murder shows I've watched, and then I see these women who have said, you know, I vomited on my wedding. I had red flags. I ignored this. I ignored that. And there were several men who had killed all of their children from these shows and stuff. And I just think, you know, if you had just decided I'm going to wait, I had just listened to my instincts, you know, you would not have been, you know, you wouldn't have to experience this hurt. So, you know, I just think even as a young woman, it's so important to have patience, because men can just bring women down. Like, they can really just bring you down. And, you know. And also, I was going to say, and the thing about that protective order, when you as a woman go and you put a protective order against a man, when he comes back, when you allow him back in your space, he comes back to destroy. Because you put up, he doesn't forgive the fact that you put a protective order against him. No.
Even though he's talking his bull job about healing the family. when he comes back this time is to ensure if when he's doing his stuff that he know you gave a protective order for, he is ready to probably take you out for real. He is coming back for vengeance. He is not, if you give him a second chance, that man comes back to break you. He comes back for vengeance. He comes back to rewrite the story, either to talk to the children and tell them, because he thinks in his mind maybe you've said something to the children or the children have seen something. He tries to rewrite the story to them or to your friends as to, what he really did or lie about stuff. He comes back for vengeance. You're here thinking love and life and healing and patience and goodness, and he's thinking about vengeance and killing and all kinds of stuff. That's what he's thinking about, even though he has like a forked tongue. Even though he's telling you on one hand, he's here to
to heal. On the other hand, he's planning to kill you.
Yes. So just remember that, women.
Just be patient, because it's really not worth it. You getting married by a certain age. At the end of the day, if it's ordained by God for you to get married or for you to have a child, it's going to happen. Whether it's at 60, 70, 50 or whatever, like it's going to happen. But you just have to have patience. Like you can't rush love. You can't rush to be with a man whatsoever, because it could really just fuck up your life. And then you're going to be looking around like, why the hell didn't I wait?
I know.
It's better to wait than to be in pain.
Exactly.
And be in a loveless marriage.
Exactly.
So I feel horrible about
our condolences go out to her family, her daughters. You are in our prayers. When I saw this, it was like I just felt like throwing up the whole day, just seeing that. It just makes me, because it just hit so close to home, and I can see myself in her making those decisions. So when people were asking those questions like, well, why did she do that? It's so easy to do that.
And it's so easy to say that when you haven't been in that position.
Until you've really learned the lesson, you really don't know that not to give a man a second chance. You don't know that until you walk that path. So that's why I don't want women to have to walk that path.
And it's not
just
a second
learn
chance.
For our example, don't give a second chance.
And the second chance is not when he does one really horrible thing. First, when he does something, even the smallest thing where he does something that really hurts you, where it's like almost beyond repair, and he's pushing you and stuff like that, even if it's early in the relationship, you don't give second chance.
No.
You just don't.
No.
If your instinct is telling you this person's not for me, go with that. Because you trying to make it, put on your rose-colored glasses and think, oh, everything's fine. One day he gonna bust you across the head and those glasses are gonna be on the floor. Then you'll be like, I thought you were this great person. It was the glasses lying to you. So that was very sad.
It was very, very sad. So our prayers and thoughts are with you all.
But if anything that we can tell y'all is
just pray for the daughters. That's what I would say. Let us collectively as women, let us pray for her daughters.
And let's not give second chances.
Our prayers are answered. Let us pray for her daughters. So that God watches over them in this life. And hopefully they're able to stay together.
But it is Mary
and Amma.
On a sad note,
I know.
But remember to like,
subscribe,
share,
and comment
down below. Bye.